Blog Talk Radio.
Somebody tell me whatever happened. What happened to music? Somebody tell me. Somebody send out an SOS and rescue music. Whatever happened to music? Like Marvin Gaye or Little Prince or some Josie. Whatever happened to a little men at large and a little outcast and a little Fuji? Whatever happened to the music? Somebody send out an SOS and save our music.
Conte, must be a reason. Music is dying, so I'm speaking. We used to sing about love and the struggles we faced just because. And when we fell down, it would give the people hope. You listen to a song and remember every note. Forget the 3 minutes, cause the band be on one. If it touch your soul, you can bet it be a long one. That music, it takes you back, let's do it. Bring that back cause we need it. Lord, I receive it. So, some Luther Vandross, some Curtis Blow. But my ears, music got a way to go. And I fear that we never make it. Not until we form our own and we take it. So much talent, but it just get wasted. Cause good music equals no plays. No ownership equals no say. Stop killing in the music, okay? What happened to the music today?
Whatever happened to the music? Somebody send out an SOS and save our music. Whatever happened to music? Do you remember that good old music? Whatever happened? Somebody help us. Somebody send out an SOS and save our music.
What's going on?
What is the hap? This is R. Marie
and Patricia M. Jewett.
And we are with On the Move Unscripted Ladies Roundtable Discussion.
Why are you complaining that that's a long name? That ain't that long.
I'm assuming we're not using this.
Yes, we are, because we are unscripted.
Okay.
Make sure you tune in every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on blogtalkradio.com/Patricia Goins. And it's unscripted, so we say whatever we want to say.
Yes, and we talk about anything. We talk about everything. So come tune in to us and come talk to us. What's on your mind?
We want to hear it. What's going on? You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move Unscripted Ladies Roundtable Discussion. And today is not going to be a long show. We're only going to be on for about an hour. I had a pretty emotional, deep discussion today in the Atlanta Music Industry Group on Facebook, and I made a decision about the drill music, the trap music. I'm talking about the violent gang type music, and I decided that we're no longer going to support that. I know that brought a lot of emotion out of myself just talking about it, and it brought a lot of discussions within the group, some in disagreement, some in agreement. But I thought I would bring it to the ladies' roundtable so I could talk about the situation with my ladies as far as what their thoughts are about music and how it's affecting this new generation, and what's going on. And I see I already got one of my ladies on the line. What's going on? Is that Deshaun? DJ?
It is. Yes, it is. What's up, everybody? Hey,
what's going on,
Patricia.
How you doing? I hear something in the background.
Now, it's a lot of static. It's a lot of static.
No, I hear your grandbaby. He is sick.
Here, wait a minute. I'm trying to calm my granddaughter down. So if somebody else is okay, there, we're good.
Okay. I'll come back to you, okay, DJ?
Okay, come back to me. Come back to me last.
Okay.
What's up?
What's going? Is that the Queen Goddess King Advocate?
She is in the building.
What's going on,
loved one?
So normally I go through the how was your week, all that kind of stuff, but we only got an hour today, so I'm going to bypass that. Pray that everybody had an awesome week, and I want to just jump right into the discussion. The phone lines are already lighting up. I think R. Marie is on the line as well. So, so today, I have the group, the Atlanta Music Industry Group on Facebook, and it was well, let me start from where it starts at. So, I have a new song. I just actually played it coming into the show. It's called Whatever Happened to Music. And basically, the song is you heard it, right? And basically, I'm just asking, like, what happened to the music that made you feel good, that made you think, that made you, want to dance? Like, what happened to that? Whatever, like the music scene right now, hip hop is definitely taking over, but my issue is more with the violent music, the gang type music, all that right there. So anyway, I made a decision today that we were no longer going to support drill rap or trap or that gangster rap, that rap that the artists are killing each other over, that rap that's got half kids on Percocets and Mollies and pills and stuff like that, and drugs and all that kind of stuff. So that brought backlash, and so I decided to bring it to the ladies' roundtable discussion. And talk about it. And hopefully if there's an artist you're listening to me right now from the group and you want to talk about it, you're more than welcome to call in. But I wanted to bring that to the table because to me, it's just like I'm watching this generation right now. And I'm just, and R. Marie, I'm telling the truth. The suicide rate with young adults, it has skyrocketed. There's so many kids now that's on not just smoking weed, forget about the blunts. They popping pills like it's candy. You got more and more of our young people that are following, thinking that that's the road, this rap is the road. It used to be everybody want to be a basketball player, so everybody was out there trying to be the next Michael Jordan because they figured that was the way out the hood. Then they found music, like, oh, okay, I could just talk about, my life experiences and get out the hood that way. But then it just went south. The gangs got into it. It's gone crazy. And so I decided to bring it to the round table discussion to talk about what y'all thoughts are about the music, the current state of music, of rap music particularly, and our youth and the effects of it on our youth.
Well, it has gone down since the late 80s, if you remember when gangster rap was first introduced into hip-hop in the first place. And it's been glorified because what is always shown was not just the violent part of it, but, the ability to get all of these women if you portray yourself to be a certain way, or the ability to get all of these material things if you portray yourself to be a certain way. So it was, take away from the message, because ain't nobody listening to the message. You know what I'm saying? We want to see the results. of you want to see the results of what's being said. So what happens is what's being said got changed because people are seeing the results of saying nothing or saying stuff that has no life, that doesn't make you think. It doesn't provoke you to do something great. It doesn't do any of that. It just makes you move a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It'll change the vibration, just dance or whatever. But as far as it elevating the mind to be more creative and positive and wanting to do something where it's beneficial to not just the person writing it, but to the people buying it, listening to it, and the community and stuff like that. That ain't what's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because people are not. They weren't about that. As I said, they saw the results in gang banging, in raping people, in calling women bitches and hoes, and robbing folks. It was that. The drug selling. That's where the money was. That's where the fame was. That's where the girls are. That's where the houses are, the cars, all of that. It came with that. So that hasn't stopped even now, because it goes deeper. And I'm not going to take up all the time, but it just goes deeper into the mindset of our young people, because they're already being brought up in a state of I don't have. They're being brought up in a state of lack. Everything they see around them as I don't have. I don't have that. I can't get that. They're being told they can't get that unless they. You know what I'm saying? And they're not allowed to even really be who they are naturally, to even really discover that. They got to be what society says they got to be and do in order to get what society says you can have only if you. It's ridiculous.
I agree.
But it's like I said, it started in the 80s. It's just continued. It's really sad.
And it's a downward. It has been a downward spiral. Like I literally remember in Chicago, I think it was like around 2011, 12, somewhere around in there, when I don't know if the gang started really getting into it, and they started having wars in Chicago. The different rap artists from the different gangs was killing each other. This started around 2010. 2012, I want to say it started somewhere after Chief Keef and all that, all that right there. It's just like, and it just continued to spiral out of control, out of control. And people can say, oh, it's just music. It's just music. People are not supposed to live that. Yeah, you could tell an adult that. You know what I'm saying? You could tell someone our age that, because we understand that. Our mental capacity understands that. But not these children who are growing up in it. Not the little boy who's watching his big brother live it. You can't explain that to them. They don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Their mind is not capturing that this is make-believe, this is whatever. But the problem is, because they're living in, is not make-believe in their world, because they're really living that. They're really killing each other. They're really fighting that. You know what I'm saying? So they don't see that as, oh, this is just music. No, this is our life. This is what I grew up in. This is this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see a way out. And the artists are not even understanding that we're losing a whole generation. Literally. The children from the ages, I want to say, of probably about 10 all the way up to 25, we're losing that whole generation right now. They're all they're not drugged out and high on a daily, all day long, smoking 59 blunts a day. They popping pills. They doing this. They doing that. They don't even understand how to get their mind to be creative, to step out of the box, to step out of their comfort zone. It's like I tell them, be creative, step out of your comfort zone, and it's like they don't know how. What are your thoughts, Marie?
A lot of reasons why they don't know how to, Patricia, is because of what they're listening to. And I'm going to try not to go too deep into it, but we talk about their energy and the frequencies, those vibrations. They're not understanding how certain frequencies will cause your brain to malfunction, literally. Certain things certain sounds that you listen to are triggering parts in your brain that are either activating them or deactivating them. And the frequencies that are being used are deactivating, literally deactivating brain cells. So no, they have no idea why they're not being creative on a much higher scale. They don't even realize that they're not. In their mind, they're They the bomb. They doing everything for us. They on top of the world. They're the next big thing. They don't have no idea they not. And you can't tell them that they're not, because all they're looking at, what says to them that they are is how many people are listening to my stuff, how many views am I getting on my videos, how many requests do I have for appearances, how many shows and tickets have I sold, how many cars can I buy now, how much gold or junk, whatever I got in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? That's what's telling them what their success is. We can't tell them that.
Yeah. Marie, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
So
I agree, and it's not just rap music. And you're right. You know, a lot of kids are using more drugs because that's what they're seeing. I mean, there's a lot more violence going. First of all, there's a lot more. Well, in the early '80s, when we were, doing rap, we were telling our story on. We have a voice as well. But it went from that to, men glorifying the way a women's body shape should be. It went from that to, I have this, I have that. Then you got a lot of other artists like, oh, he did this or he had help, with so much hating that they, people want to, they hate you enough to want to kill you over it, or if you're doing something good and they're not going anywhere, instead of trusting and believing in themselves, they want to shut you down and stop what you're doing. But it's not just rap, and because the violence in rap has truly escalated. And you're right, because they're seeing a fictitious thing. They didn't see how some of these rap artists was in the studios working hard. They see these guys in these mansions. They don't realize they're renting out this mansion that they're able to do now. They don't see that a lot of the money is still going towards management. Also, I'm like, when video games first came out, it was, Donkey Kong Jr., Pac-Man. Now, now you have, a lot of it is violent. I went, like, for instance, what is that one with the one with with the car, even Tour of Duty.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want to go to the service. These sure would get on Tour of Duty to kill somebody, to do a lot of massive kills. Or Grand Theft Auto. At first, when it first came out, you were killing somebody and you may see them, like, shoot them and the person die. Now you shoot them, you see the brains exploding, you see prostitutes. I mean, they're extremely, extremely, extremely graphic. Extremely graphic. So, and then it's not just that, it's the video, it's on the movies. Once upon a time when TV stopped, but when cable started going 24 hours a day, and they see that drugs, sex, and violence is selling, and you may have somebody that want to tell their story or how they made it to the top and how they had to start off, selling drugs. I mean, and you want to be honest about your story. But that also inspire a lot of young people like, oh, well, shit, my mom ain't got no money. We broke. I'm tired of being poor. And then there's always the streets. Because when don't nobody else show you love, the streets will pull you in. Yeah, young blood, you can get this. Or, yeah, cuz, you can get that. We got you, you know what I'm saying? But you got to pay, you got to put your own money in. Because I never, ever thought that I would live to see a day. I mean, you're going to see your street people out there, your violent people, your gangsters out there. But, on rap songs, snitches get stitches, snitches get that. Now, it's to the point where they're going after elderly. They're going after children. And no one want to talk, oh, I ain't no snitch. That's messed up, but I ain't no snitch. Well, that's the street code. But I'm a nurse, so I don't live within the street code. That street code is not for everybody. It shouldn't be for anybody where you're killing small children, you know what I mean, or elderly people jumping out the car robbing them. But when you see this type of shit going on your HBO Max, these people don't care because they don't live in that area where that shit is going down. These producers are living far off in acres of land and it takes you 5 miles just to get up the driveway, but they're going to make the money off of them. And that's what's happening with our youth. They're living a fictitious life. Then you got people that's trying to make it, But, you know, you may just be a target just because you're not getting in trouble, because you're not in the street. You know, I'm not worried about my grandson being in the streets acting nuts, but I am so worried about my grandson being a target because he is popular, because he was, you know, sports all around. You know, he's got haters and he don't even be in the streets doing anything. But it's one's mentality. It's one's mentality. And then, you know, it's not just death, because there's so many young people. The majority, 70% of the people that are in prison are between the ages of 17 and 22. 70%. And they in there laughing and go, oh, yeah, shit, this ain't nothing. But you looking at a 20-year bid. You don't even understand what is going on. And then out of this 70%, a good 60 to 70% of them are coming in like zombies because they're so spaced out. Their minds are gone from the different drugs, the hard drugs.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
They become more desensitized to, like, the more this stuff is out, the more they see it, the more they hear it, they become desensitized. So it's no big deal anymore. You know what I'm saying? If you keep hearing about people getting killed, or you keep seeing people die in your face all the time, it becomes your normal. So they're desensitized. And when you mention about this, you know, they're telling their story, that's I won't say it's a fact all the time, but for those that are telling their stories, if they did, you know, have to come up, you know, hard life, and they had to do some things that they wouldn't repeat, that need to be said in a story too. So that's another thing. There's kind of, this is just my thought, that there would be a responsibility if you telling what your story is on how you came up out of your gutter. Don't keep glorifying the gutter. You know what I'm saying? Let people know this is where I started, but I wouldn't go back, and you don't have to go there. You know what I'm saying? Like, give an alternative, something. But they keep glorifying the gutter. Okay, yeah, you came from that. Now what? You don't have to keep talking about that. Don't keep glorifying that. Don't keep praising that, because that's all they hear. That's the part they hear.
You know what? They're not being honest about. They're glorifying the, you know, oh, I got all this money, this, that, and the other. But they're not talking about what happens when they get caught. You know, I was a jail nurse for a long time. And they don't talk about what goes on in the prisons. Once you get captured and you've lost your freedom and you are now the property of the state, they don't talk about that part. In Clayton County, I remember that sheriff used to treat them, those inmates, horribly. He used to treat them horribly. You know what I'm saying? And not just the way that the guards and stuff treat the inmates, but how they treat each other. It's a whole different life in there. You a young buck and you run around doing all craziness, but then when they put you in jail, you in there with some people who don't truly don't care, and they will take your manhood and everything else and not think nothing else about it. Like, they need to be honest about the results of this life that they glorify. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. You got too many people, mothers, who are crying now because their baby. One lady, she lost two of her kids. She lost two of her kids to drive-bys. They weren't even. They was in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, gang violence. Y'all glorifying stuff that is killing a whole generation. They're either getting put in jail. And if they don't do a loan bid, their record is still messed up. So when they come out in society freaking bans them. They can't work here, can't work there, can't live here, can't live there. You know what I'm saying? When the drug activity, these kids, everybody know, and we've always been told that marijuana is a gateway to other stuff. So these kids have already advanced into other stuff. Yeah, it might start with a joint. Now they need 2-3 blunts to make it through the day. Now they popping pills because they chasing a high like a crackhead. You understand what I'm saying? You chasing a high all day long. You're trying to feel that certain high you felt when you first smoked your first joint or whatever, and you chasing that high because you don't want to accept reality or whatever. Like it's just getting crazy. You got kids that are freaking killing themselves. I never would have thought so many young people, children, people 16, 15, 14, 13, all of them is killing themselves. So, yeah, y'all can say it's just music, but to these kids, we're living in a digital age. That is everything to them.
Yep.
That is their life.
They're
They don't go outside and play kickball and all that kind of stuff and do the stuff. We used to go outside from day until night, playing around, having fun, living our life. The kids don't do that now. They don't even go outside and play hardly. They're in front of them games. They're either looking, they're getting that violent stuff, and like you said, Grand Theft Auto and all them kind of different stuff, or they watching the music videos with the guns and they just come on and do the gang signs and what are you talking about? You're brainwashing our kids. You talk about, oh, I don't want to go to the military because they're brainwashing. What do y'all think y'all doing to our kids? And do you think that the powers that be give a damn? No, they want you to annihilate yourself. They want you to.
That's why they pay the way they do.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's why they pay them the way they do. That's why you have, people that are really talking about stuff, that's really true hip hop. Now they underground artists. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's promoting, like I said, the killing, the raping, and I done got high in the club and bone free, whatever the hell, they getting the money. It's about that. But that's how the industry is created. You know what I'm saying? It's to entrap those minds that believe, lie that they're in a state of lack and got no way of getting what it is they want other than this. If you want that, this is what you're going to have to do. It's a whole trap. But, unfortunately, these kids, young adults, whatever, are falling into it, and a lot of it, and we can't take the responsibility away from the adults that are in their lives or that are not, the parents or whatever, because it is not like, they have to listen to it, first of all. They're not being forced to listen to it. So if you have kids that are in your household, you can control what they listen to in your household. If they, certain things that you can control on their devices or whatever, certain atmospheres that you can, keep them out of if you are minding them correctly. You know what I'm saying? I know you can't be with them, 24 hours a day, but you can be with them enough. Even if you're not physically with them, you can be in their mind. You know what I'm saying? You could have taught them something, given them some lessons, some wisdom, some encouragement, something where even if you're not with them, you're still with them. And they know how to make a decision on what to do, what to be around, what to say, what, you know what I'm saying? But you can't completely take the responsibility off of the parents, guardians, adults, whomever. I really wish a lot of these old hip hop heads, like the for real hip hop heads, would really get at these young kids and talk to them for real, instead of bopping with them. So
I mean, let's not
hip hop was a whole culture. It was a whole culture. Like true, real hip hop would have never allowed this type of stuff that's going on right now, and to be classified as hip hop, it would have never happened.
Right.
Because it goes completely against hip hop culture, against the law, completely against it.
But
it really does. And then let's not leave out Facebook and TikTok. I caught my granddaughter, my mom, I don't really be on social media that much because, there's so many people. So now it was originally made for networking, but you have so many people that are completely distracted, like, hey, what's going on? Huh? I mean, and they're so caught up moment by moment what other people are doing that their life is literally on hold. And they're living through a fantasy life within their brain. Oh, this could be me. Oh, look at this person. And I can't even tell you how many, which is one of the reasons why I don't really get on it, how many countless fights I done seen, how many countless times I done seen fights or somebody jumping somebody and everybody's chiming in with the laughs and the emojis and, and it's like, wow, it's gotten to the point where you can get jumped by 4, 5, 6, 7 people. And instead of somebody trying to break it up or call for help, everybody got their damn phone out because everybody went, exactly. And I guess if you get so many ratings on Facebook or whatnot, then they'll start paying you. So as long as you can keep your ratings high, you can get paid for blogs. A lot of people think that, oh, yeah, well, I do my blog. And although it does work for some people, it's not working for everybody. And these kids that don't really want to do that much. As far as parents, you're right. But what about the parents who are single parents who have to work? They got more than one child. They depending on the oldest to kind of help out with the rest of the crew because they have to work. You know, they probably make a little bit too much to get any type of assistance, you know, but not enough to really make stuff flow where they could just work a 9 to 5. And then you got a lot of people that's doing a lot more work at home, you know, so if that's what's selling, you know, there's a lot of people that want to just give you all the scoop in the news on other people. And if that's what's selling, you know, they selling what's going to make them money because everybody want to make the come up. And literally, we say, well, people our age, we didn't do this, we didn't do that, but we also didn't have all these other outlets. And to be 100%, you know, I cannot compete like with my grandson, who's 18, who jumps on it, you know, he'll switch from this page to this page, you know, my brain don't function like that, and it takes me a minute to catch on to stuff. By the time I learn this, hell, the social media then came out with something different. And it's always evolving. So it's hard to keep up. It is hard to keep up.
So one of the members in the Atlanta Music Industry Group actually did a video because you know, he was upset about the decision to no longer support or promote that gangster killer rap type stuff or whatever. And what he said was everybody didn't grow up with a silver spoon in their mouth. Everybody didn't grow. Some of us grew up seeing this. This was our reality, and we don't have the money to pay for counselors and stuff like that. So our music is our outlet. Okay, so I understand the struggle. This is why I tell. I understand. Everybody has been through stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the 80s and 90s when kids was getting beat down by the mama and daddy, and they didn't have the rules to stop them from damn near killing the kids, and the crack epidemic that had mama and daddy strung out on drugs or in jail and all kinds. I got all that. I understand all that. The molestation, the rape, all the stuff that was going on. I get that, and we got a lot of broken people, a lot of broken adults because of that who've never really been able to deal with the pain or deal with seeing the dead body on the way to school. I understand. And we've been hearing this whole situation about that for the last 10 years. But come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna help you out real quick, Patricia, because they saying they don't, and I'm done. They saying that they can't afford counseling. Tell them they can come counsel with me for free. As long as they coming through your group, they can come counsel with me for free. So that's no excuse now.
Right, because, you know, I understand, you know, the pain and being able to write about your pain and your suffering. And I understand that. That's like when I wrote the first book. My first book was about the pain of my childhood, all that kind of stuff. I did that. I made that out. Right? I did that. I wrote that book. I had to get that out. Okay, cool, fine and dandy. But then the next one, I had to come with some creativity. I had to come with something different. Y'all don't know how to go down different lanes. You stuck in this one lane and you keep reliving the past and reliving the pain and keep talking about it, keep putting in the atmosphere, keep all that. You keeping on that lane. You don't know how to switch gears. That's the problem. You don't know how to try another genre, try another topic. Okay, you talked about the pain of your past. Boom, we got that. We've been hearing that from the last 12,000 rappers for the last 10 years. We done heard it over and over again. A different voice, same story. We got it. We understand. We know. Now what? It's time for, this is where the creativity comes in. This is what, you can't call yourself an artist if you are not able to create. So you got to be able to create. And if the world has been screaming that they want something different for a while, the customers, the consumers, the people who pay for the stuff, not your niche group. I'm not talking about the ones who that's all they want to hear is trap rap because that's the world they're living in. I'm talking about all the other 80% of the world who don't give a damn about that because they done heard the story over and over again. They've been asking for a while for something different. So at what point are you going to listen to your customers, your consumers, the people who you claim you want them to buy your music? Why are you not giving them something to buy if they've already told you they don't like that?
Mm-hmm. DJ.
DJ, she's
hello.
Hey, DJ.
Hi. Wait a minute.
What's your thoughts about this topic?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Yes.
Woo! I said so. Thank you. I came on a little late, and then I may have to go on mute because my granddaughter is having a hard time wanting to go to sleep.
Okay.
But this subject is so from firsthand experience, and I could really talk on this, but I'll just go ahead and just give the hip hop culture and the music. If there is a gentleman called Craig Lewis Ministries, and that his series of DVDs were given to me at the time where I started having these episodes with my son, and it was connected to the music he was listening to, and it was also connected to other things like Grand Theft Auto. When someone said Grand Theft Auto, I was like, just that name brings back the real experiences of transformation because it's all spiritual. Bottom line, it's spiritual. If you want to talk about the enemy's design, he's a musician. So Jay Lewis breaks it down, and it's specifically about hip-hop culture because that was a target of the enemies at one point because the heavy metal was not enough. So he was going to do something that changed the whole entire nation, affected with the hip-hop culture in the young generation. So it really is a spiritual, from my perspective and my experience, it's a spiritual thing. And when you say once they get, it's like the enemy prowls of whom he could devour. And that's exactly what it is with the children. It's an addiction. At some point, it changes everything. And I think now, even in the rap, in the music, with the black artists, they ain't hiding it. It's right there. They show they're not even hiding it anymore. They're not. It's so plain and clear. So, if it's the parents' fault, it's like when right now, if I had young people, there is no way they would listen. They wouldn't even have access to it. And, of course, outside, but it just wouldn't even be allowed in the house because there's no, this is good, this is bad. It's in all of it when concerning the topic we're talking about. But, my son, it was like a spirit, and it affected everything. So that's my spill on it. And so
yeah. Miss, I think Miss, thank you, DJ. Missy chimed in too. So Missy, what are your thoughts?
Hey, Missy.
Oh, hey y'all. What's the question?
So we're talking about music, rap, and its effect on our youth. So basically, we're talking about today. I made a decision in the Atlanta music industry to no longer support that drill. I think it's drill. It's called drill rap, that gangster rap type stuff, where they come in with the guns and they talking about the violence and the drugs and all that kind of stuff that they've been talking about for the last 10 years or whatever. I made a decision that we weren't going to support that kind of music anymore because it has affected our youth in a negative way. And I got a lot of backlash. It was a very emotional day for me, very emotionally draining because I'm trying to explain to them why, and some of them not understanding. So I wanted to bring it to the round discussion to talk about. So what is your thoughts about music, rap, and its effect on our youth?
Well, as we know, these kids out here doing exactly what the music is saying to do. Like DJ was just saying, it was a setup from a long time ago, starting with that old, what you said that music was called, look, I can't even think.
Heavy
that
metal.
was so satanic. Heavy metal. It was so satanic. I remember when you can put the records on the other side and the talk like the devil type, Lucifer, like that. I remember that back in the day, So it's all a part. It's all a part of the agenda. It's all a part of the agenda to get them exactly where they are, to have them strung out on drugs, to have them drinking that, what they call that lean and popping Molly. It's all a part of the agenda to kill off the generations. Not only the guns in the neighborhoods, not only the cocaine that they pushing in the neighborhoods, the music as well. The music is the number one because they know that we are musically inclined people. They know we love music.
What does that say? Music is universal, or what is that saying?
Yep. That's it. That is the universal language.
Okay. Yeah,
right.
Yes. It's a and no matter what, you can't. Once you hear it, it goes in. It goes in us. You can't stop it.
I'm sorry.
So, and Kim, I'm surprised you didn't talk about the different vibrations because that's kind of new to me. Okay.
I did talk about it. We did with a night booth.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And so,
I would like to can I add just one little story, and it'll take 2 minutes. When I was in high school, I had a guy that loved Prince, and I mean, so this was in the 80s. He would dress like him. I think he thought he was him. Fast forward, he went through something where he was going to commit suicide because it had him so whatever. And I love Prince. Man, who didn't love Prince? But I remember at that time they were saying, oh, like Misty said, put the records on or play it backwards. And I remember Prince was one of the artists that they were saying that back in the day.
Yes, I remember that.
I saw him. He came to my parents' house one night, and I couldn't come downstairs, and I think they were in prayer, and he got released from that. But that kind of prompted my memory too back in the 80s that was a real live situation. He was going through some things. He got attached to Prince's music. I don't know.
I just don't understand why when you tell the artist, because artist means being artistic. Being artistic means being creative. It means using that side of your brain to create something that's not there. Everything that we see was created by something that wasn't there at first. So, okay.
But what it is, Patricia, is it's so easy.
Let me finish my train of thought. So, everything that we see in this world was created by someone who had a creative thought, who stepped outside the box. They seen something that wasn't there. They saw a need, and they said, well, let me address this need. And it's when they addressed that need, is when they did that something, they stepped outside the box and created that something. That is what was a blessing or was used by humanity and whatever. So my thing is this. If you are claiming to be an artist, then be an artist. And being an artist means being creative. That means you should be able to create something. You should be able to take a word and figure out a creative way to make a whole damn paragraph off that one word. That's creativity. It's easy to talk. It's easy to write or sing about what you are actually experiencing. It's a whole nother thing to use your creative brain to create something that you cannot see. So if you are creating stuff only by what you see or what you've seen, then you're not being a true artist. A true artist is creating stuff. You take a word and you figure, and you can take anything. Like a lot of the men are complaining about how the women are keeping them from their kids. Okay, so that's a big topic. Mm-hmm. Now all the fathers are deadbeat dads. Some of the women are not doing what they're supposed to do. So how about you rap about that? Find ways, creative ways to talk about social justices if you want to talk deep. If you don't want to do something that's going to make people dance and sing and you want to talk from the heart, there's a whole bunch of other stuff to talk about other than running from the ops, taking drugs, taking mollies, popping Percocets and all killing the eye, all that kind of stuff that has been told over and over and over again. Step outside of your step outside of your comfort zone. Try something different. The problem is they are so stuck in that cookie cutter pattern that they don't know how to be creators.
And like a copycat, I heard one artist, in his music, and I can't remember what it was, but they were saying, so no, it wasn't even an artist, it was on TV. And they were like, but man, what about your kids, man? Fuck them kids. And I'm like, damn, and walked out. I can't remember the movie. It's not coming at the top of my head. But I say that, moving forward, my daughters went to school with a girl who started her own clothing line. And, and I'm like, well, I'm so proud of you, and it's beginning to blow up. But she's putting a lot of slogans on there. And, just like the Bart Simpson theory when it was like my parents are stupid or I'm a proud underachiever. And a lot of, educators were upset, but this girl's T-shirt, got like, fuck them kids, with a parent walking past the kids with her middle finger up. And she said that's her highest seller. I said, but do you understand the message that you're delivering? One of my daughters bought some shirts, she sold at least like 60, 70 shirts. But if this is what you're instilling, because she's like, man, I fell her, I'm buying a couple of those. Like, well, I'm not. I love you. I would love to support you, but I can't support nothing negative that you're putting into the universe. And this is negative.
And not only that, but they're not
are buying.
And they're not understanding the words. Words are powerful. Words are used to manifest. You can speak something into the atmosphere, and spiritually it has to obey your words. So if you keep speaking the same stuff, it is eventually going to come into your reality. So they have been speaking death. They have been speaking all this stuff for so long that we're seeing it. We're seeing the power of the words and what's going on. It's time to change the narrative. Even if you don't see that change yet, you start speaking positivity. It's time to start speaking words to counteract this negativity that has been spoken for years. We got somebody that wants to chime in. So let me answer. Hello, caller. You have 793 in your number. What's your name? Where you calling from?
No, I just tuned in, so I just want to hear what's going on. I'm sorry to be late. It wasn't intentional.
Oh, okay. So you for anyone?
Okay, but what I was getting ready to say.
Let me just tell her that call her the website. So for those who you just want to listen to the show and you don't want to call in, so that you don't tie up the lines, go to blogtalkradio.com/Patricia Goins, and then you can just listen online and you don't have to call in. Okay? Okay.
Yeah, so sure. I know I'm the one that likes to comment. I just wanted to see what the topic was about.
Oh, okay.
Because I love you guys' show. It's an amazing show.
Well, thank you.
Aww.
So we're talking about
thank you.
Music, rap, and its effect on our youth. How the music has changed and how it's affecting our children. That's what the topic is.
So we kind of I know we touched on that previously, and I do know Patricia Goings' new song is all about that. So absolutely, I'm ready to listen.
I'm glad you like
and that song is amazing. That's a platinum song. It's amazing. I just need to say that. Sorry, everybody. But I do need to say that.
Thank you.
Because it's fact.
Whatever happens. I appreciate that. So what was you about to say, Misty?
Okay, what I was about to say that it's easier for them to rap and sing about that type stuff to where they don't have to pull that creative side out. You know what I'm saying? It's given to them. What they need to do is get out of that industry and become their own music producers. It's a lot of people, what they call them, independent. They're independent producer. They're independent. That's what they need to do. You know, if they're claiming to be these creative artists, if you're so creative, get out of from up under the music industry that you are under, which everybody keeps saying Illuminati is tied to and all that stuff, and become your own producer, your own music producer. It's not hard,
Missy, most of these artists that are coming out with this trap rap and stuff are not mainstream artists. These are independent artists that want to break through mainstream. So they all want to follow the Little Babies and the Soulja Boys and all the the CMG. They want to follow that because their goal is to get up to where they are, not really even understanding what all goes with the music industry. Like most of those artists, is Big Stream, all the kind of stuff. A lot of them, they are in debt to the labels because they come in with these 360 deals. They give them all this money, but they don't understand it's like they're a business. So they have to pay out all these expenses. TLC talked about it. TLC made millions and millions of dollars, but they had to pay out everybody else before they got their money. And they signed those deals that they was only getting like a penny off the album, all that kind of stuff. Like they want to be up there. Even Meek Mill is up there complaining because he's saying the label ain't paying him. So you got a lot of artists that's up there that's acting like they got it going on when they really don't. But the kids don't know that. The kids don't know that.
Right.
Kids is only going by
what they feel they have to follow. Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
And it's not even so much that they're not paying him, but because he has made so much music, I think Meek Mills is worth he's not broke. He told his wife when they were getting married that the sky is the limit. There is no price. Don't ever ask him how much can she spend. Her credit card is hers, and his money is her money. And he's worth like a couple $100 million. But, he's at the point where, and I love Meek Mill's music, but this dude is like, you can't even come and talk to him face to face. He refers to himself in third person. You feel like you put in that much work that, I don't get out the bed for a concert for anything under $10 million. I mean, that's greed. It's greed. How rich do you have to be? I'm like, I just want to make sure my family is wealthy. You got over so many millions. Your family is wealthy. And you paved that way. You've made that change. But you got people who want him on his team so bad, that want to be on his team so bad that, that's Meek Mills. You can't talk to him directly. You got to talk to his boy and his boy. I mean, he'll be standing right there. And he's not the only one. He's not. Some of these people who've never had money, that finally has money, have lost their rabbit-ass mind, period. They forgot who they were. Then you got billionaires like Bill Gates that'll wear a pair of jeans and a T-shirt and some damn tennis shoes and just blend right in. But when you have it and then you feel like, this is my worth, they're going to pay me my worth, they're going to pay me my worth. And there's so many rappers, so many artists, so many entrepreneurs or artists particularly and rappers and in that entertainment game that feel like, their name is worth so much, they don't have to do anything unless you meet their demands. I mean, I'm a little upset that he even had the gall to say that. But I don't never hear about him giving back.
Yes,
I'm not saying he don't. I'm just saying I've never heard it.
And I'm agree.
Sorry.
And no. Even though I came as a caller late, I'm sorry. And if I am repeating something that someone else has said, I do apologize as well. And I agree with you 100%. Now, if we were to take two rap artists, let's say Nipsey Hussle, and let's say, his name just went away, Young Dolph, out in Tennessee, that comes back to their community. They go back, they are fighting that fear, and that fear is there because once you make certain amount of money, once you reach certain amount of accolades and become a celebrity, in a sense, there is that fear. that those that used to support you no longer do, or whatever life you used to live come back and haunt you, or etc. But they start to give back to their community, and hate is real. And that's an issue. So some people never go back or revert back to try and give back because of that fear. And I get that. I get that. But those that have tried, sometimes there is retributions for that. But I'm sorry, someone else was trying to chime in.
I just wanted to say they're giving back to the community, and that's good. However, think about all the lives that have been destroyed by what they were saying. That whole beef between Young Dolph and all the different artists and whatever, that those kids were listening to that, and the show is only an hour today, so we're actually in our last 4 minutes. I was so emotional today that I actually cried on Facebook. And I'm emotional anyway. Y'all know I am. I'm a big crybaby. I can't help it. But today, it just touched me because it made me, I just thought about all the children, all the young adults' lives, kids that are being destroyed. They are supposed to be the leaders of tomorrow, and they're not even making it out of today. They're the ones that supposed to lead us, and change things and make things better, but they're not even living to see tomorrow because they
and I agree,
or they killing themselves, or they killing other people and ended up in jail, or they being killed. That's what's going on right now.
Yes, and Patricia, I agree with you 102,000%, even though it's not really a real number. But the fact that it's like they have a battle because they are trying to follow whatever is mainstream right now so they can make a name for themselves. Like, seriously, to make a name for themselves and get into the mainstream and actually make money. Personal battle / what's good for the community. Then also, on the back end, whatever life they live beforehand.
Right. Because
sometimes making a name for yourself, sometimes making a name for yourself, though, means you got to change your name. You don't always have to do what everybody else is doing in order to get what it is that you think you need and or want. Change your name. Change your game. That's also part of being creative, not being like somebody else.
Right.
Yes. Misty, is that you, Misty? Is that you, Misty?
Yes.
I agree with you. And I had the pleasure to listen to Patricia and listen to some artists and their music, and someone that lived a foul life, making music, contributed to the violence and everything. He turned his life around and making different music. But he did sacrifice. It's those that are willing to sacrifice to put that music out there that promotes change, that promotes, let's promote others on a positive note. But then they're willing to sacrifice, their work. And some people just aren't willing to do that.
Yeah, you know what? I interviewed an artist, and the artist was a trap rapper artist who's on a Move Unscripted. I interviewed him, and I asked him. I said, "Okay, so I know you doing this kind of music, but are you giving back to the youth? Are you talking to the youth? Because you did all them years in jail, and you know that life is not. Are you talking to the kids or the young people to let them know whatever?" And he was like, "No, but I'm going to. I'm going to give back to the shorties, this, that, and the other." And he really did make a song, and it was the Bomb Diggity song, and I shared it. Went back to look for it.
Yes, he did.
He deleted it and put and left only the street rap up there. Why? What?
Really?
Why would such a powerful song, but leave the stuff that's killing the kids up there? I don't get it. Like, it's time for leaders to step up. For every generation that the music has changed, it took somebody or somebodies to be creative against the norm. The music in the 20s only changed because somebody in the 30s stood up and did something different. The music in the 30s only changed because somebody in the 40s or whatever stood up. Hip-hop came because somebody stood up and said, "I want to do something different." Be that different. Don't be afraid to be different. You know what I'm saying? The masterpieces.
Yes, 100%.
The show is
100%. I saw my friend go through that coast to coast with the most encouraging music to everybody that want to inspire their dreams. But unfortunately, the judges only wanted to hear trap music.
Right. They want to continue to feed the narrative.
I just have to say that. That's
the lie. They only want to hear music that's going to sell.
They don't care.
Now, I just heard something when she said trap music. When you said they only want to hear trap music, that's because that's what they're doing. They're trapping them. That's what I heard in the spirit, to trap them.
100,000%, yes.
I just heard that in the spirit, to trap them. That's what it's for.
Preach, baby, yes. Preach, yes. Yes. Yes, and that goes from the male rappers to Cardi B to what's that pretty girl? Who the other girl with Cardi B? Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, that's just what it is. Yes.
Then leave out Meg Thee Stallion. I mean, and she has a college degree.
Yes, ma'am.
I hate to
yes,
cut y'all
yes,
short.
ma'am.
I hate to jump in there and cut y'all short, but y'all, we got a meeting that's about to start, and so the show is only for an hour. So this is gonna be it's gonna have to be.
No.
Hold on, Patricia. Patricia, I want to applaud you for changing up the rules, changing up the game, because that's a big step that you did, and it's very well appreciated, because I don't want my grandkids to be hearing all that stuff. It's bad enough that they do and they be dancing to it. And, it's some songs and stuff that the kids be like, oh, he cussing. I'm like, well, what did he say? Like, because I don't even listen to it, so I don't know. So I applaud you for doing what you did, for stepping up and turning the game around, because that's what needs to be done. You stepped up, you did your part, and I hope and pray that everybody else will start doing theirs too.
You know what?
So you did a good
she got
thing,
that
and I appreciate that.
She got that young buck to collab with her. Man, they did their thing. They did their thing.
Listen to this song. Y'all don't hang up. I want y'all to hear whatever happens. So y'all hang on. The show's gonna end when the song goes off, but I want y'all to hear it. Okay? This is
okay.
This is my birthday's on Saturday, and so this is the song that I'm releasing on my birthday. So I want to move it, y'all.
Somebody tell me whatever happened. What happened to me? Somebody tell me. Somebody send out SOS and rescue music. Whatever happened to music, like Marvin Gaye or Little Prince or some Jodeci. Whatever happened to a little men at large and a little outcast and a little boozy? Whatever happened, to the music? Somebody send out an SOS and save our music.
Conte, must be a reason. Music is dying, so I'm speaking. We used to sing about love and the struggles we faced just because. And when we felt down, it would give the people hope. You listen to a song and remember every note. Forget the 3 minutes, cause the band be on one. If it touch your soul, you can bet it be a long one. That music, it takes you back, let's do it. Bring that back cause we need it. Lord, I receive it. So, some Luther Vandross, some Curtis Blow. But my ears, music got a way to go. And I fear that we never make it. Not until we form our own and we take it. So much talent, but it just get wasted. Cause good music equals no plays. No ownership equals no say. Stop killing in the music, okay? What happened to the music today?
Whatever happened that good old music. Whatever happened, somebody help us. Somebody send out an SOS and save our music.